in this video, apart from my monthly expense, and I promised you I'll give you the exact number, I'll also talk about why I didn't eat grapes, although I love them, and one thing which I've observed about myself which surprises and scares me at the same time. So let's begin. Welcome to Bani Abroad. If you're new to this channel, then I make content on studying and settling abroad, which will give you an edge. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button and hit it right now. Also, if you're planning to study abroad and are having trouble with your application process, then don't worry, you can avail my consulting service for the application. The entire application, the SOP, LORs, the interview, everything is covered. So for details, you can check the link in the description box as well as in the first comment. When I was planning my video ideas for this month, I realized that I've never ever talked about my monthly expenses on YouTube. And I think this topic is really important. I have made a video on monthly expenses, but that was more of a general video in which I categorized according to luxury, comfortable and frugal. But in this video, I'll be telling you my exact monthly expense as a student. Now I've graduated, I have a full-time job and I can be accurate because I happen to track my expenses for 6-7 months on a spreadsheet. So that will help me in being accurate and not just guessing, oh, my rent was this. So this is going to be a detailed video. I'll dive deep down into the categories as well, the rent, transportation, grocery. So if your rent is a little different than mine, then still this would be useful because you can just eliminate that and then see what are the other expenses, what your monthly expense can look like. Of course, different areas in Canada will have different average monthly expense. If I were living in Montreal, my monthly expenses would be a lot different than what I incurred. So just to give you a context, I'm living in Toronto, Ontario, and to be really specific, I am living in North York, which is where my B school was, the Schulich School of Business, and I lived in the graduate housing building. I still live here and my lease is expiring on Feb 28th. I'll be moving to a new place soon. I'll give you the room tour and everything once I shift there. So this is the graduate housing building. Of course, you can just see a part of it, but I've made an apartment tour on my channel, so if you're interested, you can watch that. Now let's get started with the video, but before I get started, take a guess. Do you think I was a frugal spender or I spent money lavishly? Now hold on to that and let's start this video and then you can verify if your guess is on point or not. So the data that I have with me is from October 2019 to April 2020. I landed here on August 30 or 31st, and the month of September, I lived at my dad's friend's place. So I started tracking my expenses from the month of October. So let's see what my expenses looked like. Let's talk about the rent first because that's the biggest chunk in your monthly expense. And for me, rent initially was $560. Back then, if you saw my video and if you are with me from the beginning of my YouTube journey, then I used to pay $560 and I used to live in the living room. I know that was a trade-off, but it's fine because my priority was to live as close to the campus as possible and to live in the student housing building. So I was grateful. I was really grateful. Even if I was living in the living room, I was fine with it because I had all the privacy. My housemate had to just use the kitchen, but other than that, it was fine. And she was also mindful of that. So it was a comfortable place, so no complaints. But of course, a private room is a lot better. And when I was living there, I did apply for the graduate student housing and in February I did get it. So I told you my rent was $560 from October to Feb 14 because Feb 14 was my move-in date to this apartment, which is under my name. There I lived in the living room and that costed me $560. Here I have a private room to myself. Of course, it's a 2-bedroom house. So the rent that I'm paying here is $650. No, although that makes sense that it should be more, but economies of scale, it's a 2-bedroom apartment, so the rent I'm paying here is $450. Even with $560, I was happy with the amount of rent because I knew for a private room in and around this region, the rent is roughly $600, $700, even $800 depending on the room and if the washroom is private or not. So I think rent wise I did not spend a lot. Now that we are done with the rent, let's hop on to the next essential item, which is the phone bill. So the phone bill had a lot of fluctuations for me. In the first few months, my bill used to be $56.50. I did not buy the phone. Mine was bring your own device because I did have my own phone, so I did not purchase a new one. I just had the plan and the provider was Fido. I still use Fido, but now now I have changed the plan. Now let's talk about my phone bill after 1 or 2 months, and that came down to $45.20. I don't remember exactly why, because I didn't switch my plan. I think they gave me an offer while I registered for my SIM and my new plan, but when I saw the bill, it didn't reflect in that. So I called them and they said that, oh, that was applicable after these many months, maybe 6 months, but since you want it now, we can do it now as well. So that's why I think my bill got reduced. And now let's talk about my third change. When COVID hit, there was complete lockdown, the classes were online, I lived on campus, I got laid off because my store was no longer open. I worked on campus, so they had to shut it down. There were no students coming, it was all lost. So I thought to myself that since I'm just going to stay within the confines of my house, then I don't need any data at all. So I just switched my existing plan to the one which had zero data. Of course, I knew that I might need this for emergency. I have to go somewhere and then I have to find the route. But I was like, okay, we'll see to that. So my bill then was just $27. After a while, I started working again and my phone bill got back to $45 because I had to travel to work. It was no longer on campus. So music and just in case any emergency. This story does not end here. I again changed my plan when I started working. My work is work from home, so I don't need to commute a lot. And I was getting 5 GB of data, but I didn't need that. So I talked to a customer representative and then I said that I don't need that much of data. So can you just reduce my monthly plan and reduce the data as well? So I said that even 2 GB would be fine in case of emergencies. Then I requested that, oh, can you make it 3, like the typical bargaining mentality? And luckily, he obliged and now I have the 3 GB data plan. Now my bill is roughly $34 or $35. What I want you to take away from this conversation is that when things change, be flexible. And maybe it wouldn't occur to your mind that, okay, you can cut down on that expense and it's fine, the bill is this. But why waste that money, right? If you're not utilizing that, then of course, downgrade it. Now let's talk about the third category here, which is grocery. So my grocery on an average was $150 per month, and that is just for me, single person. In our house, we cook separately to avoid conflicts, and also different people eat different kinds of food, so that's why. Personally, I used to feel that I spend a lot on grocery, but then when I used to see the bill and all the items in it, I feel I don't spend on rubbish items on grocery and all of that which I'm spending. Of course, there would be 5 or 10% on chips, chocolate, that kind of stuff, but essentially all the items are which are healthy and I should be eating for my health. And then of course my parents, are you eating dry fruits? Are you eating salad? Are you eating this? Are you eating that? Don't compromise on your food. I think that also played out a role. But I did skip on dry fruits when I was jobless and it was COVID because I didn't want to ask for more money. But now I'm back to it. Now that I've told you about my grocery costs, let me also tell you my diet. It is a typical Indian diet. I love Indian food and I cook it all by myself. One idea, I can do a grocery haul. I don't go to Walmart. I have the Instacart subscription, so I just order it at home. But of course, when it would be summers, I would love to go and shop because that experience is different altogether. Here, I get to save a lot of time and it's convenient. So next time when my grocery comes, I can just record the video and show it to you. There's a saying in Hindi, roti kapda aur makan. So for those who do not understand Hindi, it's food, clothes and housing. So we have covered the rent part, we have covered the food part, the grocery. Let's talk about the kapda. Although that's not a category, you'll know in a few seconds. I did not splurge at all. Of course, I did buy the necessary winter gear and all of that stuff. This is new in case you noticed. Now that I am earning, I thought that okay, now it's the time to splurge, not lavishly of course, within a limit. But then the entire region is in lockdown and I didn't want to do a lot of online shopping because I want to try the clothes and especially the footwear. I can't buy online unless you feel that comfort. I don't think that I can buy that without that experience. So after these 3 things, grocery, rent and phone bill, I think only one thing is left which is really important, that is the transportation. Of course, I have one other category as well, we'll talk about that later, but these 4, these are really important. So transportation, luckily for me, it wasn't much because I am on campus. It was just a 10-minute walk to my B school, and then when I got my work, that was also on campus. Wow, so lucky. But then COVID hit and everything went downhill, and then the jobs that I got after that, I had to travel. So I'll just tell you my transportation cost for the months because even that the average wouldn't provide a really good picture. And for you, if you are traveling, it would be more, or you can just invest in the monthly pass. And if you feel that okay, you have to spend more than the monthly pass, then it's really wise to invest in that. I did not invest in one because my transportation, that was like $10-20, and when I was traveling by bus, of course, that was more. So let me just tell you the transportation cost for a few random months. So here I see in October that is $25, in November that is $20.25. I told you right till the decimal. In March it's $10. So see, not much because I did not travel that much, just like when I had to go somewhere or when I used to go to Walmart in person then, and then for the job hunt. So now we are done with the 4 essential items that you can't do without. The 5th one is obvious, it's miscellaneous. I'll talk that in a bit, but first let's sum this together and then see what's the price, and then I'll tell you the average, and of course average minus this, that would all be in miscellaneous, and I'll tell you what all did I purchase in that category. So if I average rent, it comes out to be $505. I didn't do the weighted average, but just the average, just to keep things simple. And then grocery, that I'm sure that is roughly $150 each month, and the phone bill, I'm just taking $40 for calculation because it varied a lot. So this would be the weighted average, but not, I did not calculate it, just an assumption, because I did pay that the $20 line, the bill that I told you, that just for a few months, but on an average it was more, so $40. And transportation, I'm just keeping it at $20 because this data is till April, and then I got a job later in which I had to travel, so that was of course more, but my personal expense for these months, I'll just keep it at $20. So summing all these 4 categories, the total comes out to be $715, but that's not the actual that I spent during the month, it's more. Let's talk about that. So the miscellaneous category, that has a lot of random things. I have just made a list and I'll tell you all about it. Of course, not all the items are included here, but just to give you an idea. So it was my case analysis club membership at my B school, then gym, and gym, it was pretty cheap because it's the York University gym. Then my winter jacket, winter boots, gloves, cap, muffler, all of this stuff. Then my tripod, one tripod broke down, so I had to buy a new one. The ring light, the mic, I did not order much. I would say 1 or max 2 times a month, that's it. And then books, although I do love to read, but that's all free PDFs. I know of a few sites, so if you are a book lover and you are in that condition where you don't want to spend that much money, then just DM me on Instagram, I'll give you the suggestions. Apart from that, yeah, the book that I was talking about, that was for my school, so that, and the books here are a lot expensive. Of course, you don't have to buy each and every book that your professor tells you, but this was, we had to buy this. We had no other option because there was an assessment which had to be in the book, so that's why. Then a little decoration stuff. This that you are seeing behind me, but this is pretty cheap, $4 each, and that's from Dollarama. This one, this diffuser, essential oil diffuser, this my friend gifted me a gift card and then I bought it, so that's a gift, but other just random stuff. And then this thing that I'm going to tell you, so that's close to my heart. That is, my friend was going home back to India, of course, for a vacation, and then she is also from Amritsar, so I sent a few gifts for my family. Not very expensive, just a token, you know, just a surprise. I like surprises. I like giving surprises to people because that happiness when you're not expecting something and something out of the blue arrives at your door, I think that is really pure and unmatched. So that, and then like the calculator, and then we had birthday party. So what we used to do was, and someone suggested this, so I think this is a really good suggestion and maybe you can incorporate this as well. So when you are a student and it's your birthday party, all the load falls on you, right? So it gets scary, especially when you are being frugal with everything. So what we used to do instead was that instead of asking for a party, instead we used to split the cost. So we used to go out, order something, and then we used to split the cost among ourselves, excluding the birthday person, and that isn't that much, right? So it's just like you ordered for yourself plus a few dollars more because there are a lot of people to pitch in for that birthday person's meal. So I think this is a really good thing, and maybe you can start that trend while you are in college or in your university. So this was all the miscellaneous stuff, and now when I come down to the exact average, the exact monthly expense, that comes out to be $821. And if you see 715, 821, that's $106 more, and that's $106 in miscellaneous alone for each and every month. But this figure is quite misleading because this is an average, and of course there were some months in which I would have spent maybe $50. But of course, the winter shopping month, that was the most expensive because the winter jacket approximately $200, the winter boots, gloves, muffler, all of that stuff. So that's why this is more. If you exclude all of that and just like maybe eating out and the birthday party, this kind of stuff, it wouldn't be much. But of course, we have to take in account everything. So my monthly expense apparently boils down to $21. So what do I think of my monthly expense? I think it's decent and I didn't spend on stupid things and this is comfortable, and also I did not compromise on my health. The things that needed money I did spend. I know a lot of people can have it less, but I would say that the major difference would be in the rent. Suppose you are just paying $300 because you are sharing it with someone or you are living in the suburbs, then of course your monthly expense would come down. But personally for me, I'm happy when I look back that okay, this was my monthly expense because this is decent enough for me. So this was the number that I promised you that I'll give you. Now let's head on to some spicy stuff. Okay, let's first address why didn't I buy grapes a lot. I didn't buy grapes a lot because they are damn costly. It's one packet that comes and it's 5.65 per kg, and the packet can be more than a kg also. And of course they won't just wait for you and then give it out, and I used to just finish that in 1 or 2 days because I love that. And then about the shopping, I did not buy any major stuff. Let me recall, did I buy anything at all which was not required? I don't think so. So kudos to me. So before I jump to the last point here, which surprises me as well, let me address one thing. Now that I'm talking about my expenses and I told you that I didn't spend much on this, much on that, but my main objective behind this was that I don't want my parents to send more money. Of course, they invested in the GIC and the tuition fee. So I thought that okay, there's a huge loan and on top of that, the interest, so no way that I'm going to ask for more money. So the main objective behind living frugally was this very reason. But suppose if your degree is not that expensive and you are working all during your course, I had to stop because of COVID. So I would say my personal belief is that you are earning money, of course, don't just splurge it on ridiculous things, but if there's something you want to give yourself a treat, it's fine. You have to live your life as well. So just be sure what your objective is and how it aligns with your expenditure, and then you would be good to go. Now let's talk about the point which surprises me the most. Since my childhood, my eyes were on those fancy things, and like a typical child, I want this, but not, of course, I wasn't inconsiderate, but you know, you're a child and sometimes you don't know much. So I was for the fancy things, and then when I started doing my part-time job, then also I spent a little more than I would spend if I did not have a job. Of course, that makes sense, but this is what doesn't make sense. Now I have a full-time job, but I've become more frugal than when I was on my part-time job or when I was just a student and I was living out of my parents' money. So I don't get it why, and I think it's good because it's not that I'm compromising on the aspects which are important to me, but if there's something and I'm like, oh no, I can do without this, it's fine. Of course, there are a few things which I would splurge on because those would really give me happiness, but just random things, I've become very confused. Now I think twice before buying something, anything, even if it's not that expensive. Do I really need this? So I think this is a good mentality, but this personally has come as a surprise to me. Of course, I wasn't that person that okay would just throw money out in the air and not care about it, but now I think I have become a little more frugal than needed, and that is what scares me and surprises me. But I'll update you on what happens in a few months down the lane. Maybe it's COVID that I can go out and spend, but still I feel that things wouldn't change that much, but still I'll keep you updated a few months down the lane. I'll make another video on my monthly expenses on a corporate job, so then we can see how much has changed. So for today, this was it, and I think this is a pretty long video. I have to edit it, but I think by the time that it's taking, it was pretty long. But I hope that you got to know the nitty-gritty of the monthly expenses, and now you have an idea on how much you would spend, or you just watch this for entertainment. Whatever that is, it works, and I had really a fun time while analyzing my expenses and seeing and being proud that okay, I did not splurge that much. Maybe some people would come down in the comments after me that oh, you think it's not that much. Personally, I am comfortable with this because I did not have to ask my parents for money, so that's a good enough measure of performance for me. And now if you did like this video, hit that like button, and that really helps a lot. So if you are postponing that, please do that. That would mean a lot to me. And smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon as well. Again, that's also really important. Thank you, and until my next video, take care and stay happy. Bye.